everyone. Welcome to
You know what? We're going to start that over.
Yeah, let's start it over. Let's
False
take that
start.
time. Hey, everyone. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Comedy Girl Crush Podcast, Video Edition.
Video edition.
I will cut that out for the audio recording that we put on iTunes.
Okay.
But this is our first sort of go at doing this on camera.
Yeah.
So this is very exciting.
Yes. Oh, I'm Nikki Urban.
I'm Kate Siegel.
And we are the co-hosts of the Comedy Girl Crush podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching/listening to what we have for you today, which is an incredible interview with Coop Foster.
So excited to have Coop in the studio. This is going to be awesome.
But before that,
Nikki, how you doing?
oh my gosh, Kate, you know, we've seen each other, but the audience
Oh
at
my
home has
gosh,
not.
yes.
It has been a couple of months. I feel like before we talk about me, I would like to actually hear about you and the wedding, which was beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, it finally happened. We got married.
Oh my gosh.
It's done.
It was beautiful.
It was a very lovely wedding.
I cried.
Me too.
Legit did cry. You came down the aisle and it was just like,
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. Like, so I went through the whole conversion process, and like becoming Jewish has been a very like big thing for me, and it's a big thing in Lawrence and my relationship. And it was really crazy, you know, having a wedding that was just like, you know, it just felt, I think the thing that I love about Judaism, it just feels so connected to history. And it just was like really cool to be a part of a ceremony that like in a lot of ways felt very old.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we did that thing where the bride and the groom circle each other. Like we stepped on the glass. Like we did all these like ancient traditions. And then you go inside and you do the reception. And like, bro, I got lifted up in a fucking chair.
It was really cool.
And swung around. And it was just like, I remember having a moment when we were doing the horror of just like, I can't believe this is my wedding. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, not just like a cool experience in general, but it was like, oh, this is my wedding. This is like now my culture, my heritage. This is my life. You know what I mean? It was just
Yeah.
like, it kind of really settled me. I'm like, oh, I'm Jewish. And Lauren says this to me all the time. He's like, yeah, duh. And I'm like, no, but Lauren, I'm Jewish. And he's like, yeah. You converted. You did the whole thing. And I'm like, bro, no.
You don't understand.
You don't understand. But like, it was like a really intense moment of like, oh my God, this is my wedding. This is like, this is how I celebrate. You know what I mean? It was just, it felt so cool. It felt so fucking cool.
I love that.
I loved it. I was like obsessed. I'm like obsessed with like, we did a Jewish wedding. We had like kosher food, like rabbis walking around everywhere. It was just like it was very fun. I had a good time.
That's awesome. It was
Yeah.
very, very good and beautiful and wonderful. And the food was very good.
The food was so good.
So
right?
good.
Oh my gosh. Our caterer, Catering by Amuna. They're in Orange County. If you need kosher catering, they're not paying me to say this.
That's awesome. And how's it
yeah.
feel now? Is it anything changed in the home life now that you're officially married?
No, because we were pretty much married before. The one thing I will say, and this is what I find this really interesting. Like before, you know, I've heard people say like, oh, wedding, like, you know, married men are more attractive to women. Men who wear wedding rings are more attractive to women because it's like a sign of stability and whatever, like you can commit or whatever. But I never have felt that way because I'm always like, a wedding ring to me tells me that you've got shit going on.
Yeah,
I'm not interested. You know what I mean? You got a life.
Off limits.
Exactly. But with Lauren, because it's, you know, that wedding ring is my wedding ring. There's this weird thing when I see it on his finger that I like get really turned on. Is that weird? I get so turned on. I'm like, that wedding ring on your finger is so fucking hot, Lauren. And he just goes, really? And it's like the weirdest thing. I've never felt that about seeing a wedding ring before, but something about seeing it on Lauren's finger really turns me on.
That's
It's random.
No.
Unexpected.
Yeah.
I could never have expected that would happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like now it's like, I'm like, every time I see it, I'm like, come here.
It's like, that's mine.
Yeah. Oh my
yes.
God. I'm probably very, it probably has something to do with like possession. I'm sure. Yeah.
I don't know, maybe, or maybe it's like something like, okay, like you're biologically like, okay, we've made this commitment to each other. Here is the visual proof of this like commitment. And like biologically you're like, yes. And now comes the baby.
Yeah. My body is like baby time.
Yes. Yes. It's like, we have secured our home and our nest. And now my body is ready.
Oh my God, dude. That is probably what it is.
It could be.
Oh my God. I bet that is what it is. It's like the visual confirmation that stability is here. You can do it now. Like, go for it.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nikki.
Yeah.
I got to the bottom of that. But that's just like one weird, unexpected, did not expect it. And it's just a thing.
But how now does it feel like, okay, this was a huge event, obviously, the process of converting to Judaism and then getting married. These were big and they took up a lot of space in your life.
Yeah.
And now there is like that space, somebody has moved out, you moved all of that stuff out of the storage unit, out of your home and into a storage unit. And now you've got this empty bedroom again.
I wouldn't say the bedroom is empty.
Okay.
I would say there was a lot of stuff that we had to move into the storage unit to finish the wedding planning. And now we just changed places. So,
okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like there's like, I'm still job hunting and I'm still doing all these other things. And then like we're still working on our house and we're just like getting back to home projects now. And then I've still got stuff going on with my family. And like, it's just one of those things. And then coming back to this podcast and coming back to all of this stuff, it was like all this stuff I put on hold, like writing everything. And now it's like the free time is like, it kind of opened up. And then it was like, okay, I got to do this. It was like, okay, now that I have time again, I had a huge list of things to get done. So
how does it feel?
Oh, it feels great.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really excited to get back to my regular life.
Yeah.
Yeah. My sister was telling me like a lot of brides have like postpartum wedding planning depression, like because it takes up so much of your energy and space for so long. And then you're not doing it anymore. And you're like, I don't know what to do with myself.
Yeah.
I'm not having that. I'm like, I know exactly what to do myself. It's whatever, not that.
Yeah. It's kind of all the stuff that you and your partner have been building, already for years.
Yeah.
Right. And working towards these goals. So now it's just the next step of it all.
Yeah, now I just get back to regular life. The one thing is like, people are like, oh, you guys gonna have kids? Like it's insane how fast that started.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. I'm like, bro, let me breathe.
Yeah.
But I am old, so I get it.
Yeah, right.
Like it's like I get the concern, but I'm also just like, look, man, I don't know. It'll happen when it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We're very much like we want to be married for like a year before we even start thinking about it.
Yeah.
Just like enjoy.
I mean, you are thinking about it, obviously,
right?
But like planning and preparing. That is an interesting thing. I feel never mind. I'm not going to get into that. Not important. It's not important. All right. I don't want to talk about it. Stop pressing me.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Just
stop it. Stop it.
Just chill out.
Now that we have a video camera here,
we're just talking to the void.
camera. Well, that's great.
Yeah, but it's just it's nice. It's nice to be back to normal. Yeah,
nice.
It's nice to get back to normal for sure.
Excellent.
Yeah. How about you? Have you been?
I've been all right. I've been pretty been pretty good the past couple months. Like as far as just like evenness in my mental health. Just trying to, stay even and stay like, kind to myself or whatever. I've like decided officially, like, I think a month or 2 months ago, like told people like, I'm going to start doing stand up. And I have been dragging my feet on it because I am tired. I am very tired and I get home from like work and I'm not working 40 hours a week, but what I'm doing in my job right now is very tiring and I am just exhausted from it. So usually I get home and I'm like, I think I would rather read today. And I am learning to be okay with that right now I'm in a transition period. It is okay if I just take some time to not do this thing that I've been doing like hardcore for 10 years, and that it's still okay, even if we're out of a pandemic, like even if we don't have an excuse to like be resting, that it's still okay to rest and do something that I enjoy doing that is not this productive thing.
Yeah.
Still working through that a lot. Yeah.
Dude, it's great. So I just finished taking Sketch 1 with Eric Moneypenny.
Oh, yeah.
So crazy. I took it with my little sister.
Right.
But she took it for her first time. But if you're a Sketch alum, like they just let you take the class again if you want to. So I just like took Sketch 1 again for shits and giggles, which I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a sketch writer and you haven't taken a class in a long time, do it. Just do it, or reread your fucking packet from Sketch 1. Because like, honestly, dude, like I'll like go to live shows and I'll be like, why is this not like, why am these sketches not hitting for me? And then I took Eric's Sketch 1 class and I was like, oh, because they're literally not doing any of the things you're supposed to do in a sketch.
Yeah.
You know?
Having those rules in place does help.
It helps.
Yeah.
Anyway, but he talks about a lot that, and this is Eric Moneypenny, founder of the pack. It's like, written for the Midnight Show for a decade, like done comedy for so long. He took like a year and a half off comedy at some point in the middle of his career, just stopped doing it. And I think I'd heard him mention that before, but it really stood out to me in this class because I feel like, we talk to a lot of people who are going through these sort of like existential crises with comedy or with performing or like pushing yourself to go all the time. And it was really reassuring to hear that like even Eric Moneypenny had like a crisis where he was like, I don't know. Like, I'm just going to take a break for a while and recalibrate.
Yeah. And then he did. And then it was fine.
And it was fine. And he got back into it because the industry is always going to be there. Yeah. It's literally not going to go anywhere.
Right. Later in this episode, we're going to talk to Coop about, what could have been. And I don't know, it's just very interesting. That felt very poignant. Her answer was very good because it reminds you that like, sometimes the timing isn't right for things. And even if you feel like you missed out on an opportunity, and that's the thing that keeps fueling me to be like, anxious about like getting back out there and, doing shows again. It's like this idea that I'm going to be missing out on an opportunity. But then it's like, that's just not how the universe works. There is ample opportunity until the apocalypse actually happens, which we've already just gone through this pandemic. That should prove that it's like, hey, maybe things are not like when the crazy explosive thing that happens that ends all of this ends or like happens, like that's going to be it then. And until then, we can keep trugging along, right? Yeah. We can keep chugging along. That was maybe a little more existential than needed. I signed up to like get more information about ketamine therapy through Mind Bloom because that keeps ending up in my like ads. Mm-hmm. And like I did this like survey thing and it was like, what kind of things like do you need help with? Like career stuff, like existential crisis or something like that, or like existential philosophy. And I was just like, that is so awesome that they said that.
Yeah.
Because that's true. Like I struggle with existentialism all the time of like just existing.
Have you ever tried microdosing?
I do. I have before.
Mushrooms or acid?
Mushrooms.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah.
I recently experimented for like a week with microdosing acid and I gotta say, it was crazy. Yeah. Like I'd like 20 minutes into it, I'd just be like, wow, I'm so happy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just like, wow, I'm so happy. I feel like I could do anything. And my sister started laughing and she was like, yeah, it's the acid, dude. And I was like, oh, fuck. Right, yeah. It's like, that's why I'm happy.
Yeah. I remember somebody, she's a comedian. She like brought like shrooms off of me. In the middle of like an Astro Burger during my like lunch break from Paramount.
Oh yeah,
I was like
right over there.
Yeah, I was selling mushrooms at the time, and yeah, her talking about how like she needs them to like microdose and like that's her medication. I'm like, oh, all right, I've never heard about that before, but yeah, just chill. I should try that.
nicest.
So nice. Is
Oh
our
my
guest
gosh.
today, Coop Foster. Coop, oh my gosh, it is so great to have you here. We've been wanting you for so long. I mean, and also on the podcast.
Ooh, thank you.
Like, Nikki's been reading my diary.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here.
I mean, this is Comedy Girl Crush. And of course, we do have a little bit of a crush on every guest that we have on in some way, shape, or form. And it is a delight to perform with you because it's a guaranteed fun time. Like we are in for a ride. And that's kind of how it feels like with you. We're all going to be taken care of because Coop is here.
Oh my God. That's
Yes.
so sweet. This is making me extra sweaty. Oh my God.
It's all right. I'm going to join you right here.
I did not know it was going to be so beautiful. Damn. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's really lovely to hear.
Yes. You're really lovely to exist next to
Yeah,
me.
no, really, truly. Like you radiate just such like a beautiful energy. Like the second you walk in the room, you feel it. It's
Damn. I'm coming here every day.
Aw.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
well, how are you?
Yeah.
I think I'm good. I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm in this weird life-changing time right now. Just turned 40 last week, and I just feel like,
Yes.
I don't know,
Damn.
an adult, but I don't feel like an adult.
40?
40 is the new 20.
You look so good.
Thank you. It's
I know, dude.
all the moisturizer, baby.
It's all the moisturizer. No, I'm right there with you. I'm gonna be doing this every second. Yes, I know what you mean. That like kind of transitioning period where you're like figuring out what's kind of next, what you've been doing.
Yeah. That's
Yes.
exactly what it is.
You in therapy?
Yes, I started back 2 days ago.
Oh, congrats.
But I was, thank you.
Yeah.
I was doing the CBT therapy on my own, and I was like, well, I feel like I need some more help. in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We're not gonna get into trauma or anything on this podcast. Don't worry.
do trauma
Unless
porn
it
here,
is unless it is vital to your process as
Okay.
a comedian.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's therapy is one of those things where it's like once you do it, you're like, oh man, I should have been doing this forever.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you have to talk about things that you just don't really think about. And it's like, oh, that's so simple. If I say it out loud, then it makes sense. And it's just, it's bizarre. You're like, oh yeah, that's why I do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
just
seems so simple.
Yeah.
You like demystify yourself, and you're like, "Oh, I'm just a regular human.
Yep.
I am
Yeah.
actually not that complicated."
Yeah, basically.
Yes. I am not an alien with all these weird thoughts. I just
Yeah.
said it out loud and it makes sense to this other person.
Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
They
Yes.
can help me understand why I'm like that.
Yeah.
It's great.
There's something very freeing about talking to somebody who is trained not to judge you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. Cause like, you know, like we can't put that expectation on like our friends because like they don't know, we don't all have the training on how to not judge when we're like,
Absolutely.
you know.
I'm still learning how to not judge things. Sorry, I just have to keep, y'all just gonna have to applaud.
Girl, you're so fine. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's just, I'm learning how to not be judgmental on decisions other people make. So, because I could easily be like, well, that's a fucking dumb thing to do. But also, it's like, of all the fucking dumb things that I've done in my life, if somebody was standing back and looking at that, they'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So it's just like the process of growing and such. Yeah, it's a real journey.
Yeah.
Now, I forgot to mention this at the very top, and I feel like such a jerk for that. But I'm not a jerk because it's
No.
okay.
No.
Okay. You have done a lot of many great, wonderful things. We've seen you performing live at the Pack Theater at UCB doing sketch comedy. You've also done stand up. You've done
no stand-up.
No
No
stand up. Oh, I
I'm
thought you
terrified of stand-up.
had. Okay, me too. Right there with
Add
you.
into the sweat.
Oh my gosh.
No, I don't. People who do stand up, you guys are amazing. I don't know how you get up there and do stand up.
Yeah. Stand-ups are it's like a different animal.
Yeah, it really is. It seems terrifying.
But you get up and do characters.
Yes,
and
that's true.
Yes, this is very true. And you appear as yourself in things.
That's also very true.
When there's like a structure and someone gives you like a, right?
Yeah.
Yes, this is very relatable. But you are also a voice actor as well. And recently you got to take part in the Middlespace. You were a character on the Middlespace.
Yes, I played Rainn Wilson's 5-year-old son.
Oh my gosh.
It was really cool. It was a dream being directed by Paul Lieberstein. Even though it was just one day of recording, it was amazing, and just seeing how he works was very cool. He's a very lovely man. Yeah, it was an amazing opportunity, and did not know I was going to show up in anything. I'm just looking online at articles on Variety, and my name's in there, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What?
Yes.
It was the weirdest sensation, laying in bed just like reading the news and then seeing your own name in there. I don't know, because I wasn't expecting to even be mentioned, because it's such a small part.
You don't have like a Google notification every time you're mentioned in the news?
No, because I feel like I'm like who's looking out? I don't know. Who cares what I'm doing? But yeah,
that's amazing.
and that was just,
Well, you better start. You better start one, because you're gonna be seeing your name pop up a lot more.
Facts.
I hope so.
Yeah, definitely facts.
Yeah.
Everybody who works with you loves working with you. So,
This
it's
is
just
really sweet to hear.
it's just one of those things, you know.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I'll set my alarm
Yes,
for myself.
Yes.
So what was your process like coming up with the voice for that character?
Well, I gave them a few options after I read it, and I was kind of like, okay, I'm comfortable doing this voice, because it seems like this kid would be kind of like a little badass little
Okay.
fucker. So I came up with that, and then Paul liked it, so we just went with that, and then we did a couple of different options, me with an accent. He's like, all right, now pretend like you're from this country. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm gonna do it. And he's like, yeah, that's the ticket. So, and
Literally, that's the ticket.
no, he never said that's the ticket.
I was gonna say, is that like his thing?
No, it's not. That never happened. He's like, actually, you're not great with that. Let's do just your regular voice. Because I was becoming French for some reason.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
He's like, yeah, you're getting real French. We need to just let you do your thing.
Was Rainn Wilson, was he supposed to have an accent?
He does have an accent.
Oh,
yeah, so
okay.
that's why.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Takes place in a land far, far away.
In space, right?
Yeah.
In space.
In space. Oh, that is so cute.
Yeah.
Man.
It was a fun time.
Yeah.
I really got lucky getting that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. It just reminds me that there's like a lot of people who like, critique sci-fi, and one of the things that comes up a lot is how weird it is to portray sci-fi or like space with accents.
Yes.
Like, why would there be an accent in space? If you grew up in space,
Yeah.
where did you get an accent from?
I mean, passed down to,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, right? Is an accent in your DNA?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes.
And you pick it up from being around people. I mean, all of my family on my mom's side, they're from the South. So like, there's some things that I'll just say that's just very country. Yeah. So it's in the DNA.
Do you like slip into it sometimes?
Yeah, or
Like,
some things that I'll say. There's a couple words that I have been saying wrong for so long and did not know, because just country ass Mississippi people in the middle of nowhere, they would say it, and I thought it was correct. I don't even remember the words. I was just like, oh, that's how I'm saying that. I've been saying that wrong. Oh, okay. That's
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. But we'll be back in just a short second after a word from our sponsor.
Ooh.
And now we want to take a second to talk to you about a new book that's out called With Pleasure, Managing Trauma Triggers for More Vibrant Sex and Relationships.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was written by the sexuality journalist and host of the Girl Boner podcast, which is here on the Period Podcast Network, August McLaughlin, and co-written by the trauma-informed sex therapist Jamila Dawson.
This book is a great companion for anyone experiencing the effects of trauma. It explores pleasure, relationships, and community as worthy and essential antidotes in trying times. Some of the things in the book include true survivor stories, expert insight, writing prompts, and grounding exercises, and it is a much needed alternative to harmful self-help ideologies that instruct people to change their thoughts or choose to be happy. Boo.
Boo.
Instead, Dawson and McLaughlin encourage readers to respect their feelings, understand the complexities of a society and systems that fuel trauma. It fosters self-compassion and to embrace pleasure.
So if you want to embrace your pleasure, go on chicagoreviewpress.com/with pleasure. You'll get a discount.
We'll get a commission, and you'll be supporting Jamila and August and supporting yourself in your journey towards pleasure. We're back.
Wow.
Welcome back to our wacky podcast.
Honk, 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 honk. I don't know why I'm a truck driver.
I didn't know we were going to come out like that. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay. So before the break, Coop, you started talking about growing up in Mississippi.
Oh,
right?
no, I didn't grow up. My
You
family.
didn't?
My
Your
family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my family on my
Okay.
mom's side, they're from Mississippi, a tiny town in Mississippi
sorry.
called Forest. And that's a crazy story. My grandmother left her husband while he was at work and ran away with my grandfather for her to come to California. And that's how she ended up in California like 50 years
That's
ago.
like something you read in a book.
I know. I was
know,
like,
it's
you little
poetic.
slut,
Oh
grandmother.
my gosh. Yes. Go Grams.
She fled her life and
Yeah.
moved to California. That's
Yeah.
so poetic. I love
wow.
that.
The
Yeah.
poor husband, though. He
Yeah.
gets home from work and his kid and his wife is gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did she leave a note?
I don't think so.
Oh, damn.
I didn't even ask. I was like, wow.
But he
It's
probably
cold.
knew. It's
Yeah.
coming.
It's cold.
Yeah, cold-blooded.
Oh, damn.
But you gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
I mean, she made it work.
Yes. And she had, I'm sure, an amazing life. She
She sure did.
grew your mother, which grew you.
She grew.
Yay!
Right? Like,
Exactly.
so you grew up in California.
Grew up in California in the Bay Area. First, we lived in LA. Well, first we lived in the Bay Area. Then we moved to LA when I was 5.
Oh.
Then my parents were very young and they just didn't know that Compton was cheap for a reason.
Oh,
Yeah. So we had this cute little house, but we went on a family vacation and came back and there had been a drive-by shooting that shut up our entire street and into our house, our car, everything. Everything was all shut up. So if we would have been there, that could have ended so differently because it was through our living room window.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So luckily we were on vacation, but then we were like, oh, we should probably move. And so ended up moving back to the Bay Area as, what was I, like 10, a 10-year-old, and then lived there until 5 years ago.
Wow. Did you go to school up there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I still kind of new in LA, I guess. 5
Yeah.
years is kind of new.
5 years is still pretty new. I
Yeah,
feel like.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Did you, so when you were, so you did high school and college up there and everything?
I did high school there. I went to college in New York.
College in New York. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And then did you move back to the Bay after college?
Yes, I was like, I love California. I can't not be in California. It's just I just appreciated where I lived so much more when I moved to New York. Even though I loved New York, it was like very electric and fun because I had always wanted to move there. I started like sending away for like college stuff when I was like 12.
Oh, wow.
Where they would send you the CD-ROM.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to New York. Yeah.
Oh, so
That's what I'm doing.
you had your dream and you lived it.
Oh, for sure.
Hell
The first
yeah.
time I went to New York was the first day I moved there.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. It
Did you
was-
go with a job or you just like,
No, it was just to go
Damn.
to school. I had $100. My taxi cost $60. So
Oh, my God.
yeah. And so I was like, well, I'm here now and what am I going to do?
figure, like,
Yeah. So I just went to
I'll figure it
school.
out.
Yeah.
Where did you go to school?
Long Island University. It's like a private artsy school.
Ooh, did you
Yeah.
do, what did you do there?
I majored in film and television production.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So okay, so you grew up, were you always into like comedy and performing growing up, or is that something you discovered later in life?
Always been into comedy, always been into performing. My parents would let me stay up late so I could watch Johnny Carson.
Oh my gosh, that's really cute.
I would just be like, I just gotta see Johnny, and I was just always been. Which is so weird because now I watch it, I'm like, what the fuck? Why did I care about this shit? Who cares?
Johnny Carson.
Of all people.
Of all people.
But I've always like loved Lucille Ball, Carol Burnett, Tracy Ullman. So like when I saw them doing their shows, I knew I wanted to do that, but I didn't know what it was called. I didn't know like, oh, that's sketch comedy, or oh, you can make a living doing that. I just knew I wanted to do it. And so I just always did theater stuff, did like after school theater programs, just obsessed with performing, essentially.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. So then you did that for college?
Well,
sort of.
So I did it so that I would be able to do directing and production management, but slip myself in there as an actor too.
Was that like a because you wanted to, or because you were like, oh, it's more logical to get into this?
It's because I wanted to. I like the directing aspect, but then I was like, oh, if I had to choose between these two things, I definitely like performing more, but I eventually want to do direct something at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely a fun time. It was one of the best times of my life, is going to school and focusing on doing creative stuff, because I was working full time doing adult shit. And before I went to college, I didn't get to go to college until I was like 22, because I had to pay for it myself. So like I was just working full time, and I was like, oh, this is a break.
Yeah.
So, like a little retirement break. So everybody there, they're like these teenagers who are like, I want to go home every week. And I'm like, honey, this is my break from working full time. Yeah, this is fantastic.
I knew somebody when I was in school. I knew someone who was like 24 in my department, and I was always like, "You got it figured out," because like they were studious, they were there to work, like, and everybody my age, I was like, we're all just a bunch of fucking 18-year-old kids, like who just got nothing else to do but go to school. But like, I was always like, oh yeah, man, this was like a fucking choice for you. You weren't here, and it always seemed like, I feel like, do you feel like that? Like going into it later and having to save for it yourself made it like a more meaningful experience for
sure.
you?
I appreciated it way more. I took things more seriously because I had to pay for it myself. I definitely appreciated knowing what real life was like outside of college, because you know that's people's first time being away from home, whereas like I was making memories and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna remember this forever. I gotta do this experience, I gotta experience this. I know all the things that I want to figure out here while I have this break away from the real world. So I definitely would recommend transfer to college as a grown-ass person.
Yeah, take some time off. Go when you're like ready to fucking do it, right?
Yeah. Then, and you also get to be the cool person who brings the alcohol to the underage parties.
Yeah.
I actually never did that because I didn't really I didn't really drink too much when I first got there. Definitely woke up on the main lawn.
Oh yeah,
at least twice.
Oh no, my goodness.
Okay.
But it was like a nice little safe private school, so I was like, I'm just gonna fucking sleep here in the middle of the grass tonight. And then people are just like going to breakfast, walking past, and I'm just like,
nobody's checking in on you. Like, this is normal.
Yeah, it just felt normal and very safe.
Okay.
You just felt okay. I can do crazy shit here and it'll be all right.
Yeah, college, man. Time and a place for everything.
Yes.
But then after college, what happened?
After college, came back here, not here, to the Bay Area. Realized I had to start working full time again.
Yeah, right.
It was such a bummer, but had to do it because my last year of college, I didn't even have enough money to afford a dorm room, so I slept on somebody's floor in a dorm and pretended to be them using their swipe card to get in my last semester. Yeah. So luckily, man, I have great friends. They were just like, yeah, you can be our troll under our bed. Yes. Shout out to Rainn and Monica Santiago. But yeah, After that, I came home, had to get a full-time job, started doing events, coordinating for Academy of Art University in San Francisco.
Yeah.
That was really fun because you're a 20-something in charge of the parties and the free drinks.
Yes.
Oh, man, I was having a goddamn ball.
Also for parties that are full of like cool artistic art students.
And
right?
all the students there are, their average age is like 28. So
yeah, they're older. Yeah.
So it's not, it's just like, oh yeah, I'm the king of the nightlife.
Yes.
It was fun.
Kate spent time in San Fran. I've just
did.
now shared your
I did.
information.
I lived there for 3 years after I came back. Like I graduated and then went abroad and then came back, and I was there from 2011 to 2014.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, where were you?
I lived in Richmond, not the Richmond, but Richmond.
Where my grandmother lived.
No way.
Yes, I have family that girl, that's the hood. What were you doing there?
Well, I moved with like no money. I like moved back from Italy. I had no money. I got a job up there, and I just like there was a house
Okay,
on
Kate.
Craigslist.
She was gentrifying. That's what
I
she
was
was
gentrifying.
doing.
I know. No, I lived with this. It wasn't like downtown Richmond, but you know the hills that are sort of outside of Richmond a little bit.
I love that place.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Okay, you were in the fancy part.
I was in like the fancy, but I was living in some hippie's attic. I was living in this hippie lady's attic. Her friend Purple helped me move in and out.
Of course.
Yeah. She was like a very Berkeley lady. And I was living in her attic when I first moved up there. I found her on Craigslist.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's so cute over there.
It was cute.
It's like this cute little town vibe.
But it was crazy. I learned a lot about Richmond when I was up there. There was the Chevron fire happened while I was there, and I like did some research, and I was like, oh, this fucking refinery has been fucking this city up for centuries, for decades.
No, they had a fire before. I got a settlement from it. Thank you.
No way.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it caught fire while I lived up there. I remember hearing the sirens, and I was like, oh my god, are we being like? I thought it was like an air raid. You know what I mean? And then I looked out the window and saw the smoke, and it was crazy.
Fucking terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, y'all.
Yeah, so-
Definitely grew up in Richmond for the most part
Richmond.
because my grandmother, my mom lived there as a teenager, my uncles and aunts.
Wow.
Yeah, everyone lived in Richmond.
Right on. Yeah.
34th Street.
Dude, yeah, I know there's a good record store over there right now. I don't know. It's probably new. It was probably new when
Yeah, because nobody was selling
Hanging
music
out over
in
there.
that area.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I lived there, and then I moved to 6th and Howard in Soma.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
yeah.
What is that? Financial district? No,
It's
that's
Civic.
not.
It was right off of Civic Center, the Civic Center
okay.
BART stop. Yeah. Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, it's the best. I love San Francisco.
Is
I
that-
miss it every day.
Is that near some of the comedy theaters? Look at me bringing it back.
Bring it back. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So did
'cause-
you do comedy
you-
in San Francisco?
Were you?
Yes.
Were you on the Lobster?
Killing My
Lobster.
Lobster?
Okay.
I was not on the lobsters.
The lobster.
I've now met some, like, I don't know, at least 4 people who were part of Killing My Lobster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a very popular because there wasn't a lot of sketch comedy in San Francisco, which is why I left because
Yeah.
there wasn't even enough people to take the next level of sketch comedy class. So after the level, they're just like, well, there's not enough people who want to do this, so we're not going to do it.
No.
So
Was that where were you taking comedy classes?
in games?
End games, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I did in games. In 2007, I did San Francisco Comedy College to do improv. Damn, I've been doing this shit a long time.
Yeah.
Wait, so what age then when you started taking comedy classes in San Fran?
I guess 25-ish.
Okay, so 25, you just turned 40. So now it's been 15 years since you got out of college and started doing it, right?
About that,
Yeah.
yeah. But even
But you were
before,
doing comedy before that.
Mhm, and I wanted to do it in New York because that was the first time I had gone to a UCB show, and I was like, oh fuck, what is this? Because it was the early 2000s, like 2005, 5, something.
Damn.
And I was like, whatever the fuck this is, I want to do it. And then I looked it up, and I was like, I'll never be able to afford $90 for a class. Yeah.
We're laughing because the
$600.
most recent price of a class was like $600.
Yeah.
Insane.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, fuck, how am I going to do this? I have to take the Long Island Railroad to get here. And then I just couldn't afford it. So I just didn't do it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Do you have any regrets about that? Because
I do, because
that was the time.
I just really wanted to, and I was like, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. When I saw that show, I was like, I need to do this. And so I would like look at their website all the time and look at the teachers and like just fantasize about. And a lot of the teachers were from Best Week Ever from VH1.
You're like, Paul Shear.
Like Michael Ian Black.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love these people. I just want to do it. And I was just like, I can't afford $90.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my God.
Dude.
I already spent $60 to get here in this cab.
Damn. See, that brings up that, like that. Okay. That makes me, thinking about that makes me like angry about how things, where it was like, it was inaccessible. And yet, like, if you had gotten to be a part of that, like, you would be famous right now.
That would have
like,
changed my life.
Yeah.
If I would have started doing that at that time. But also,
because everybody, like so many people from that time period, they brought each other up because it was like the hot thing. And so many people, just by being there at that time, just got very lucky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And I definitely, my life would have been completely different, but also I wouldn't have met all the wonderful people that I met now. I wouldn't have gotten the opportunities that I have now. It's just, that wasn't my path at the time. And that's okay, I guess.
No,
I mean, it's one of those things where you're just like, I mean, I guess I have to be okay with this because it is what it is, right?
Right.
But it is really unfortunate, and I think that like just like talking about this is like important because it's fucked up that getting to do creative shit is financially prohibitive. It's really fucked up that it's hard to become a creative person or an artist or an actor because you literally can't afford it.
Yeah, it's looked at as something as a privilege, and it fucking sucks. And hopefully all those people who like have their parents taking care of all that shit, that's amazing. And I hope you appreciate it, and I hope you're taking advantage of that time and not fucking it off, because some of us poor people, we would have loved to have that opportunity, and it's just take advantage of it, rich people.
Yeah, dude.
Because that's like, it is such a privilege to get to create art and not have to worry about money.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't have to worry about money, oh my God,
Oh, I mean,
my life would be completely fucking different.
I thought that for the longest time. And granted, the circumstances were a little different because we were in the middle of a pandemic. So, but like when I was collecting unemployment and was like, oh, I just have all of this time. Literally, I don't have to go anywhere. I just have all of this time to create. I was paralyzed by it, by the opportunity. It was like I needed all of these things that I had to constantly stay in motion for in order to like not be paralyzed when it came to doing what I wanted to do. Because before it was like fitting into place, and like you did it and you were hungry for it because you didn't have the opportunity all the time to do it. It was like, this is my treat for working at this job that I fucking am miserable at.
Yeah.
And
But
now
also,
it's like,
when the world's shutting down, who wants to be productive?
Yeah.
Like
No.
that's a fucking depressing time. Like
Yes.
everybody's locked down, you can't go anywhere. It is hard to create because you can't meet up with people, or you might fucking die. I remember at the beginning, you're like, oh, if you do this, you die. Like this is just like no. So that was a really weird time. Like
Traumatizing.
The emotional toll,
Yeah.
I think, of being in the pandemic and just realizing that like one of the reasons it was gonna take so long to get out of it was so many people just didn't give a shit.
Yes.
That was like emotionally paralyzing for me too.
Yes.
Like it really
Yeah.
was like a weird fucking time where it's just like I'm still like in the weirdness
Yes.
of pandemic life.
Yeah.
Because it's just changed. Time doesn't have meaning anymore. You're like, oh, that
Totally.
happened 3 years ago. That feels like it happened last month. This like I don't.
crazy.
You really do like you
Yeah.
lose years of your life.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like. I can't.
some
was it
things
last
feel
week?
so far away. Like it happened ages ago and it was just like 6 months ago too.
Yeah.
Like the opposite.
It just makes no. Yeah. So we're all in a weird. Putting pressure on yourself to create during those circumstances is just.
Were you putting pressure on yourself then?
At first I was, but then I was like, no, I need to. I'm first of all losing my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Because I was like strict lockdown. I did not leave my apartment for probably 2 weeks. like not even to go for a walk. It was insane.
Wow.
I don't know what I was just like really losing my mind. In the
Lauren
dinner.
and I too. We like if we went outside on the street because we didn't know and nobody knew. We were like fucking masked up and like scarves wrapped around our faces. Like it was really scary.
Yeah, it's such a weird time, and it feels like it was recent, but also like forever ago.
Yeah.
And then you get nostalgic for like being locked down.
Yes.
Remember when like the first week we all got on TikTok and how like fun that was, that everyone was all on TikTok all together, and then it just got sad and boring.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. You're on TikTok?
I'm not. I
Yeah,
can't. I don't understand it. I need somebody to like give me an in-depth tutorial. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm
know
just
what you
failing
mean.
publicly on it.
Nice. No better way to fail.
Yeah, that's good.
Love me some public failure. That's good.
So pandemic, like, okay, all right, let's get back. Okay, so college, then you're in San Fran, you're taking comedy classes. At what point did you decide to move to LA and like be like, this is it?
I was coming to this point. I used to be married.
Oh, what? Me too.
Oh yeah, baby.
All right.
Shout out to Robert Foster. He's still a lovely person. But I was like, this doesn't work. And I was thinking of like, how do I want to spend the rest of my life? What are the things that I want to do? And like actually pursuing acting and comedy was very important to me. So I was like, what am I waiting for? Life is happening now. So I essentially started saving up for my job, worked at Lyft headquarters in San Francisco.
Hell yeah.
And I just told them, I was like, I'm going to move to LA soon. They're like, you want to work in LA? Well, fucking yes, I do. Just so that helped me so much. They gave me a job to work in LA so that I could move here a lot easier. So that made all the difference in the world. And I just fucking did it. I packed up my car, drove it wasn't even my car. I rented a car. And then my ex-husband helped me pack up the car. I've always loved San Francisco. Always loved the Bay Area.
It's a fucking great city,
It
too.
really is.
It's a fabulous city. Yeah.
And like I really appreciated it when I lived there, where I would go on bike rides and just cry and be like, I get to live here. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
And so it was really hard for me to move here because the lifestyle is so different. Like I walked everywhere in San Francisco. I was able to meet up with friends easily without making months-long plans. I could just be like, hey, I'm at this wine bar down by your house. Do you want to meet me in like 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And it would happen.
Yeah.
Here, it was super isolating. Nobody had time to hang out with anybody. And if it didn't have anything to do with acting shit or pushing their career forward or whatever, it was hard to make like genuine connections with people. I didn't know anybody out here except one of my friends from college who I rarely saw anyway. So it was just a really difficult time where I cried every day for at least 2 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was like, and I would call my grandma and I'd be like, come get me, grandmother. I hate it here. And she would just be like, nope, just stay. Because when she first moved to California, my grandfather would say, just give it one more year. But he would just do that every year. So she got used to living there.
Yeah.
And so then California became her home and she just became comfortable with living there. So she just kept doing the same thing to me and just like, give it one more year, just stay, just try. And I was like, yes, okay, I'll do it. And then every time I would seriously think about leaving LA, something would happen. So I was like, okay, I'm meant to be here.
Yeah.
I would like either book something or a show that I pitched or produced for like UCB or the PAC would just happen. And I was only here for a couple months. So I was like, no, but why are these people giving me these opportunities? And it was just because I was meant to be here. Like,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be here. So I need to just settle into it. And now I feel like I live here.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. This is the first year I felt like that.
Oh.
The year 5, yeah, I think that's like, it kind of takes that long to feel at home here. San Francisco, you can feel at home pretty quickly, like a matter of months, I think. You like learn the transit and, you know, you learn the city. But LA, I think it takes a really long time to like
Absolutely
feel cool. Like not cool, but like feel like cool with what the
Relaxed.
fuck is going on here. Yeah.
And it also helps that the comedy community in LA is the fucking best, the most supportive, loving people who want to see you win.
Yeah.
Who will do shit for you, even if you don't know they're doing it for you. It's like the nicest people. I've only had great experiences with everybody. And, well, not everybody. I will say maybe only like 3 or 4 people have been the downside, but those people don't mean enough to affect my life in any sort of way. But you know,
I was like, I can't imagine anybody having any like issues. You know, like you're just lovely. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. Fuck those people.
Yeah, fuck those people. But also, it's just like their thing.
They're doing their thing.
Yeah, it's their whatever they're dealing with.
Yeah,
has nothing to do with me.
Yes,
but yeah, it's just lucky to be in the comedy community here. It's just very sweet people.
Yeah,
I feel that.
Yeah,
I feel that hard.
Yeah,
yeah, relatable. I feel like the comedy community has come to my rescue so many times. Like, I'm so grateful all the time. I feel like for like, what wonderful people, what weird, wonderful people that we get to be friends with. And that like, even those things where you are meeting and you're just talking about business stuff, it comes from such a different place of like, this is our life and our passion and we are sharing this thing. Yeah.
And you definitely feel less alone because I feel like all of us are dealing with mental health shit. All of us are dealing with like weird loneliness of being apart from wherever we lived before. And we all are trying to do this creative thing together and it's really fucking hard and you deal with the rejection and you gotta, you know, keep going even though everybody's like, no, that's not quite right. Wow, that's a nice butt on that picture. I don't know why that caught my eye.
Wait, where is that? That is a nice butt.
Okay.
It's a very nice butt.
Well,
Yeah. I don't even remember what I was saying.
Coop, do you have ADHD?
A little bit.
A little bit? Okay. All right. Yeah.
Can you tell?
Yeah. No. ADHD sees ADHD.
Yeah, baby.
All right, Coop. Now it's time for a segment we call These Are 5 Things. Ta-da! First question. Your biggest influence in comedy?
Ooh, there's such a tie. Lucille Ball, as she's on my compact right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
I fucking love her. She's like the first woman in comedy that I was like, oh, she's so cool. I want to be like that. She's a businesswoman. She's fucking strong ass motherfucker who is just in control. I really love that about her. She's definitely one of my huge influences.
Hell yeah.
I think she's like one of the first female media moguls, right?
Yeah.
Owning a studio, like amazing.
Yeah.
Her and Sally Rogers from Dick Van Dyke Show.
Right. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
And then Carol Burnett.
Yes.
Just after that.
Yeah.
And so Lucille Ball and
we'll just keep it at Lucille Ball right now because that's definitely my top first person I saw.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What about like your family? Was your family funny?
I was the funny one in my family.
Yes.
No. Yeah, you were.
I bet you were.
My dad was goofy, but it was just like because he liked to have fun, and I was more like, I'm gonna just perform for everybody, whether you want it or not, and you're not gonna stop me. And they would just let me do it.
Are you an only child?
No, I have 3 brothers.
Oh.
One older, 2 younger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This also tells a story here. I don't know what that story is.
I don't know what that story is. I didn't have brothers.
Yes. Okay. All right. So Lucille Ball. That was also Jessica Ball. That was hers too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very sweet. All right. Worst moment in comedy so far? Best moment in comedy so far?
Worst moment. Oh, I don't feel like I've had a worst moment because even like the stuff that didn't go my way, I still learned something from it. I still like built up the what is it? I don't know, the energy to accept bad stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't think I have a worst moment. Best moment so far is definitely, I think it would be moving here and being able to do a shit ton of shows as soon as I got here. Like I felt like there was no downtime and I loved that part of my life where I was just like fucking nonstop. It's like, if I'm going to live here and cry every day, I'm going to do something with this. And I was just like nonstop after work, writing shit. After I'm writing shit, pitching shit. Before iOS closed, obviously, I was like, hey, I know you guys don't know me, but I'd like to have a show there. And then I pitched them some shit and they're like, here's your slot on Saturday.
Holy
and
shit.
it was just like, everything was just falling into place at that time when I first moved here, that it was just, that's, like I said, that's why I stayed here, is just because everything kept happening and it felt great, and creating and learning nonstop. Also while working, I was burning myself out for sure, but it just felt good to just let all that creative energy come out. So that's definitely the best so far.
Yeah, that makes sense. What was it that, like, how are you meeting people / did you already know some people out here that you were able to be in a position where people were like bringing you on, or was it just you and your like hungriness getting out there and going and meeting people? How did that work out?
It was definitely just my hungriness. I didn't know anybody who was doing comedy out here. I didn't know anybody at the theater. I literally came out here, took my first UCB class. I was like, I'm only taking one of these fucking classes because they're expensive as shit.
Yes.
And then I'm going to learn as much as I can there, get my foot in the door. And then, like, I had a plan in place.
Okay.
So I knew that I was only going to take one class. I knew that I was going to go to as many shows as possible. I knew that I was going to use that as a way to, like, start putting on my own shit.
Yeah.
And so, and submitting to every year, like the Sanctum shows, and write the craziest shit, and knowing it's not going to get on, but that got me on the radar of people to be like, oh, this girl's weird. Let's put her in some shit, you know?
Yeah.
And so that led to me just meeting a lot of great people who saw something that they wanted to work with. And
were you on a UCB team?
I've subbed on a UCB team, never finished their class. I mean, I don't know how I keep getting into these positions. Like I was on a mod team for a show. Somebody just said, oh, I've seen you perform before. Do you want to audition to be on the mod team to sub? And then I ended up doing that, and I performed on a mod team, but wasn't on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, wow. Okay, right on.
Oh, subbing. I never knew that was a thing.
Me neither.
And now you're on Tantrum, right?
Yes, I'm on Tantrum now.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Very cool.
What a great group of people on there.
So many talented people.
Yeah.
So lucky to even be considered to be on that team. Really cool stuff that we've done so far. And we've only been a team for 3 months, like the team right now for like 3 months. And so our first show is next. Wait, are we in May yet? Where are we?
Yeah, we're May 1st today.
May 1st. Okay. Like whoa.
No. Well,
Oh,
we're
April
recording
30th,
is
May 1st tomorrow.
May 1st is tomorrow. So the episode will air on Monday, right? So May 2nd.
Yeah.
So yes, plug Tantrum real quick for us.
Tantrum sketch comedy team, amazing, talented people. Our first show is on the 13th. I'll give you the actual date soon.
All right, right on.
Okay, great, awesome. At the Pack Theater.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, next question. Was that? Yeah, it was good. Okay, good. Okay. Hype up a friend for us.
Ooh.
Yes. It can be multiple, but maybe somebody that you think should be a guest on this podcast.
Oh, for sure. Haley Mancini definitely should be a guest on this podcast. That girl.
We've had her already.
Oh, you have? I did not watch your episode, apparently.
She was one of our first guests.
She may have, if we were doing this back then, she may have recommended you.
Yeah, actually. She was
It's
one
entirely
of our
possible.
First guests when I joined as a producer.
Yeah.
And that was like 2.5 years ago, 3
Yes.
years
Oh,
ago.
damn.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
But that's awesome.
Always,
Haley Mancini.
Haley Mancini is fucking crushing it always.
Right? You were a bridesmaid in her wedding,
Yes,
right?
for sure.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, it was a lovely time. Okay, let me give you another one. Ashley Hairston, who is... Wait, her too?
We had her too.
I did.
had her
No,
too.
Ashley was in. I took UCB 401 with Ashley, and then I was a writer on the Diversity Showcase the same year. She was an actor, and I just have gotten to like work with her a bunch. She's so fucking dope.
So dope, so kind. Like,
Yes.
really just an all around great fucking person. She was
Yes.
killing it and well deserved success. Yes.
Just like,
You two are energetically similar too, in
Yes.
that like you bring just like a lot of joy with you when you walk into a room. Yeah.
just like all love.
Oh,
Yes.
I love that. Yeah, I love Ashley. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Great.
Oh,
Yes.
I love that. Yeah.
I feel like everybody I name, you're going to have already had on.
Maybe it's entirely possible. I love it.
Maybe.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
Got the same
Right?
crushes.
I know. We're all crushing on the same ladies.
Yeah.
Okay, well, those are...
I mean, those are great shout outs,
Yeah,
though.
it's
Great shout outs.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
And audience at home, you should listen to those episodes if you haven't already, because they're
Yeah.
great. Even though they were from, a while ago, but I feel like the sentiment's still okay.
Yeah,
Doesn't
they're still
matter.
good interviews.
Okay,
Yeah, for
okay,
sure.
okay.
Okay, so Coop, you've done a ton. You do voiceover. You've produced live shows. You've gotten to perform on Mod. What is something that you haven't yet done in your career that you're like, I want to fucking do that?
I definitely want to be one of the leads on a show.
Hell yeah.
I want it to be like comedy and drama. I just want it all. I want it to be Atlanta meets Euphoria,
Meets Succession.
meets Succession, meets Arrested Development, meets all of these things that I love.
Yes.
My goal, especially this year, is to make a living off of performing because it's so important to me, and I want to put that energy into that, because life is so short. I want to do all the things,
Yeah. You have a manager, right?
No. Sadly.
What? That seems crazy.
I don't
to
have a
me.
manager,
crazy.
and I only have a commercial agent.
You're with Rainn too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Shout out.
Yeah.
Oh man, when they do friend things, are you non-union?
I'm non-union, but I'm SAG eligible.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
Are you waiting? Are you
This is
waiting
me.
a little bit?
Yeah, because I get so many non-union things, and it's just like, well,
I'm schmoozing right now. I'm like, when they come in, when they call in for like friend things, can we be in the same group?
I'm down.
Yeah.
Because I need a theatrical agent, somebody, a voiceover agent, please. Because even though I've done a bunch of voiceover shit, don't have an agent for it. People just directly contacted me.
That's bananas. But I heard Bill Murray didn't have an agent or like doesn't have an agent. He just like people call him.
Yeah.
So maybe you're just like the next Bill Murray, Coop.
I fucking hope so. Cause
Yeah, you're just gonna
enjoy him.
start screaming at people on set.
Oh, is that
no.
no?
Yeah, no, maybe not screaming. I know he like insulted Lucy Liu.
I do remember that
I've heard
story.
about this. Oh God,
That's so unfortunate because I love Bill Murray, and when I guess I don't know Bill Murray enough to love him. I love his work and not him as a person. I guess I
Why
don't
do
know.
people gotta
Yeah.
be like that, man? It's
Right.
just like, why do people who are great performers gotta be like that?
Yeah.
I have
Kills me.
this theory that some people don't realize how important that they are, and that their weird moods that are going to really affect other people. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I have this theory that people think that they are not as, because they're not trying to be as.
That's
know?
that's probably the thing.
Yeah.
because
That's true.
Like, oh, it doesn't matter if I'm in a grumpy mood. It's not going to affect people. Meanwhile, all these people who love you are like, what the fuck?
oh yeah,
oh, that's interesting.
I
Yeah.
never thought about that, but yeah, that's.
Yeah.
interesting.
I hope that's the case with Bill Murray because he's just
Yeah.
so delightful.
Yeah, you don't want. Anyway.
Well, anyway, fuck that guy.
guy.
I can turn on a dime. I'm like, fuck him. I'm over him now. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I think it is really cool that you're like still managing to do all of that without a fucking manager and agent.
Yeah.
Like if this is why someone should fucking sign you, because you're gonna get work. I mean, imagine what you could do with a fucking agent.
I know.
Yep.
And I
Yeah.
literally wrote the same thing to agents and like managers that I've been interested in to be like, I've done this. I've worked with these people. Fucking John Malkovich was on the same project as me.
Yeah.
Without an agent. Come on, let's see what we can do. Let's make some money and do some cool shit. Like,
Make
Yeah.
you money.
yeah. Like, it's not about the money, but also I want to buy a beautiful home. You know?
I mean, the thing it is about the money for them, though, right?
Yeah,
and it's
for
just like,
sure.
so you do kind of have to be like, hey, that I can make you money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did we talk about this on the last episode? Where
I think we've talked about that.
yeah, where I read this like autobiography by Laura Jane Grace from Against Me, and she talks about like getting her like recording, like getting a record contract, and how it's like people in the industry, like recording, whatever industry, how it's like they can sell 200,000 records, they can sell 1 million records, but they can't sell 100,000 records. That's up to the artist to do. And it's like what you're doing essentially by being the kind of person who's like building up without their help is like getting yourself to those, like, I'm going to be able to sell 100,000 copies just by me being me and amazing. And then that makes it easier for your manager to come in and be like, haha, swoop.
Yeah.
Swoop, I'm going to grab you, and now I can utilize this and make something out of this. You
hope
are a
that's the case.
commodity.
I hope this is the case, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I believe so. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's
Dave Grohl, there's a really great Foo Fighters song on their first album called For All the Cows, and it's about being a cash cow. And I think about that all the time. I'm like, that's all we are to the industry. It's like, that's how they look at us.
Also, shout out to Dave Grohl. I love you so much.
Oh my God, me too.
There's a whole
My dream man.
thing on YouTube about why black people love Dave Grohl.
Really? No way.
Okay, why?
Because he just seems like a down-to-earth, dope-ass dude that you just want to hang out
Dude,
with.
Yeah.
for sure.
Did you watch his Hot Ones?
No.
Watch that episode and you'll be
Okay.
like, I'm going over. Like, he's just that type of guy that you just, I don't know Dave Grohl, but I feel like I can go to his barbecue and he'd be like, hey, let me make you a drink. And then you just hang out.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Yeah, I literally lost my virginity to a guy because he looked like Dave Grohl.
Hey,
It's like, you're close enough.
you look back now and he looks nothing like Dave Grohl.
Yeah, he probably doesn't. No.
Well, Coop, I think we're both very excited because we will be seeing you starring in a show.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And now it's time for our final question, which is, what advice do you have for people who are either just starting out in comedy or whom are maybe in the middle of it?
I would say, not the cliche, keep going, but like take care of yourself. Do shit outside of comedy and acting and all of that creative stuff. You have to have a life outside of your work, even if you love your work, so that you don't take it so hard when you don't get those things you were hoping that you got, you know? Because at first I was like, fuck. I even had like an audition this past weekend that I was like, I really fucking want this. And I didn't get it, but I know that I have other things going on. I know that now they know who I am. They'll reach out to me if they feel like I'm the right fit for the next thing that they do. So I think having a life outside of what you're focused on, like comedy or acting, is very important. So just keep your personality and your life going while you're in this grind that can be really sad and frustrating sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very good
That's
advice.
really good advice.
Go see concerts.
Yes, go do stuff. Go on a walk. Go on a hike.
Yeah.
Have a hobby that's outside of the rejection bubble of acting and comedy.
What's yours?
I do all kinds of shit. Now I've started crafting with my friends.
Yes.
We do like leather crafting. We go to antique stores.
Oh.
We go to just different, we made a list of places we want to go to in LA that we
Yes.
just go to every weekend. It's great. Yeah, you
Oh
have
my
to
God.
have
Me and my partner Jules are doing the same thing. He put together a spreadsheet of neighborhoods, and we're doing like a number randomizer, and like every couple of weeks we're going to a new spot on the spreadsheet.
That's so
cute. I love that.
Yeah. It's like discovering the city that we live in because we live here.
Yeah.
This is our town.
And
now.
there's so much to see. And things that there's so many neighborhoods that I've accidentally ended up in. I'm like, why are they keeping this a secret?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
That's how I felt about moving here to Atwater. Like when we first started looking at houses over here, I was like, oh my God, this is the fucking shit. This neighborhood's so
beautiful.
cute. Yeah. And it's like, it's near Los Feliz, but it's like not near Los Feliz. It's like not hilly. It's flat. Like it's really easy to bike around here. I love it here. But it's like, I didn't really know Atwater until we moved over here.
It's such a cool spot. But yeah, if you just stay in that bubble of like where the 4 places you go, like when I first moved here, I went to like 4 places: UCB Sunset, UCB Franklin, home, and work. That was it.
Oh wow, yeah.
It was just like, I'm just in this, and I made sure I lived close enough to all 4 of those places so I could walk there because I didn't have a car when I first moved here.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to get out of that bubble, guys.
I love the way you said keep your personality.
Yeah.
Because I think also as a performer, like especially in LA, it's really easy to think that you're supposed to be a type of way to get ahead too. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. And like it is really important that you like hold on to the things that make you you.
For
because
sure.
that I think is truly how you get ahead, by being unique and an individual, right?
Because there's the same copycat of everyone with the Instagram face that in LA. They have enough of those.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm hopefully going to be one of a handful of big black ladies with fake dreads that does comedy. So
Are they fake?
yeah.
No way.
Oh yes, baby.
good.
My hair is a curly afro under here. Well, no, this is not like a wig, but you know.
Right.
You know.
Oh man, I love your Instagram, by the way.
Thank you.
I like it because you like Your posts are great because they're like a dump post, it feels like.
It is.
And I love that because I started doing that too, where I'm like, this is a dump of everything that's like in the last like week or so or 2 weeks or whenever.
Yeah.
I don't post often anymore. I'm tired of looking at social media.
Oh man, yeah, you get burned out so easily on social media. But I definitely post like it's coming straight from my brain, like weird shit, whatever I'm doing, or like something crazy as fuck that I saw, and I'm like, this is weird as hell. Look at this shoe that looks like sushi. So it's like none of it makes sense. I want it to be like a diary of my brain when I look back.
Yes, it definitely comes across that way, and that's why I was like, I have to say something about this because your Instagram is the bomb. Like,
Thank you.
Yeah, I gotta start like actually looking at people's Instagrams. I feel like I became one of those people that only looks at stories and not posts anymore,
I'm
which
the
a lot
opposite.
of people do. Oh,
I only look at
post not stories.
Yeah,
Okay.
and people will be like, well, if you were really my friend, you'd be watching my stories. I'm like, I'm sorry. It's I'm sorry.
Oh, I've gotten that before. Or like people who assume that you're looking at their stories or that you're paying attention to their stories and then they're like mad at you.
Yeah.
Oh, did you not see what I posted? No, I
didn't.
I didn't. Like genuinely had a friend recently like, why would you wait, are you saying this because I posted this? Like, and then it was on Facebook though. And I was like, I don't know what you posted.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna go look at it because I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
Now. Anyways.
Anyway, social media is a fucking beast.
A fucking beast. Mm-hmm. That we so slays. Coop. So good to have you on.
Thank you. This was so fun, and it flew by, and you guys are great. And
You're great.
Beautiful people.
No,
You're beautiful.
It's so, I like tell Nikki this all the time, but like Nikki knows way more people than I do. I'm like, I've been here for a long time. I'm just a hermit, but I love doing this podcast because I get to like talk to people who I've seen perform. And like, it's just so lovely when people who seem really lovely to you, like you get to meet them and they are just as amazing as they seem.
Thank you.
And that's the case with you. You are as delightful and wonderful as you seem on stage.
Thank you.
Yeah. So never disappoint us.
Don't you dare change.
Don't you dare change. You're never allowed to be grumpy or have a bad day or, you know. No,
I'll
just
try
kidding.
my best.
You
I don't
are
wanna let you down.
You're a human being.
You got to be Tom Cruise level fake smile all the time.
Yes. Yes.
I don't have enough teeth for that.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure they like screwed some in there. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Tom Cruise.
Oh man.
I always bring it back to him. I'm like weirdly obsessed with him, but just in like a curious way. Yeah.
He is a handsome man though.
He really is.
Oh man. When I saw him in Cocktail as a child, I was like, fuck.
Dude, he's fine. Top Gun was mine. I wanted to be a fighter pilot because I like, you know, I was like, and then I was like, oh no, I don't want to be in the military.
Okay. So I'm calling it. You're going to star in something with Tom Cruise.
Oh, okay.
Oh, predictions have been made.
All right. I'm interested.
All right.
Have my people call your people Tom. I have no people. Call me Tom.
Coop, thank you so much. Very excited for the future for you. You are the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. This was amazing.
Oh, thanks for being here.
Make sure you check out Coop in the show Tantrum at the Pack Theater if you're in Los Angeles in just a couple weeks. Check out thepacktheater.com for more information and to buy your tickets. Mm-hmm. They've got a great lineup of great folks. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh, dude.
That's my favorite way of how you start the outro.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, dude. It was great. We gush every time because it's true. I'm so impressed by Coop.
Just the fact that she's managed to do all of that without an agent and a manager.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Without a voiceover manager that she like got that Middlespace that, you know what I mean? Like it is truly bananas that she is not repped. I mean, she doesn't have more than a commercial.
Right. Yeah. That blows my mind. Managers, get on this.
Why do you hate talent?
Why do you hate talent? Why? Why
are you signing people like David Dobrik for millions of dollars?
Yes. Why?
Why are you doing that? Stop doing it.
Stop it. Anyways, this has been a really lovely episode. We are so excited to be back in the studio and recording. We're gonna keep back up with this, keep our momentum going. You're gonna see some really great guests coming in soon.
For the time being, we are gonna be every other week
Yes.
until we get really launched fully.
Yes, and we are switching to this new format of having a video, and we will be going live at some point in our video. So prepare for that. Oh, off the cuff.
Which is so exciting. Yeah. And we'll be releasing some old videos for old podcast recordings that we have logged away. Those will just kind of be trickling out as I finish them.
Of course, you can subscribe to us on all of the places that you follow podcasts. Please give us a listen, give us a follow, like our stuff, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. You'll be entered into a raffle to win something cool. We're still doing that.
Yeah, I think we're still doing that.
We're still doing that.
If I owe you a present, find me.
Also, you can find Coop Foster. Oh, gosh.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Let's pull her up. Oh, my gosh.
So
I should've written
Middlespace, which is on Audible. Check that out. Coop does a voice on that. She plays Rainn Wilson's 5-year-old son, which is freaking hilarious.
Oh, man. And you can find her on Instagram at this_is_Coop. This is Coop. Find her on Instagram there. And, she's on Twitter, all of that. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
Sweet.
Well, this has been great. Anything else?
No, I think we've covered all the housekeeping.
Yeah.
It's going to be, we appreciate you bearing with us for like the next few weeks while we get back to a regular schedule. But we're super freaking stoked to be back and to be on video.
We sure are.
Yeah.
Here we are. Here you are.
There you are.
Hey, everybody. Keep crushing it.
So dumb.
It's the Comedy Girl Crush.